Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Thursday, guys. Happy second recording. So this recording is for a good sis of mine. This should not be too long. I have somewhere I have to go, but we shall see. But she said she heard, I don't think it was titled Forgiveness as the title of the recording. I think she may have heard me say something in reference to forgiveness in one of the recordings. But she said she's a chosen one and she struggled immensely with forgiveness. And she thinks it's unfair that we must forgive people who have wronged us. So why do we have to sacrifice and forgive? It makes absolutely no sense. And she can't understand it from a logical standpoint. So she says she loves my different perspectives, and she wanted me to break it down in the perspective of a chosen one on why it's important to forgive. All right, among some other things. Okay, sis, first and foremost, I want to say this really quickly. Being a chosen one, you deal with a lot of disappointment. You deal with a lot of hurt, a lot of betrayal, things like that. And if you're not careful, it can lead to resentment. And resentment is like cancer to your body. It literally eats you from the inside out. So when you hear people say things like, quote unquote, forgiveness is for forgiveness is for you and not the other person, it's absolutely true. It kind of sounds just like a cliche, but it's absolutely true. Because think about it. Okay, somebody's wronged you. You've been A1, right? You did your part. Somebody wronged you. Okay, now you find out that this person has betrayed you or whatever they did. Okay, now you leave them or you just let God deal with them. They go on about their lives. The person who hurt you most likely don't already have a conscience. That's why they hurt you. See, it's hard for a chosen person to hurt somebody. This is why we won't even do something behind your back, because our conscience literally is too we're just so different. So what happens is that other person who've hurt you, right? That narcissist or that you don't have to be a narcissist, right? People are just people at the end of the day. So this person goes on, conscience free, because they never had one, and they go on and they continuously hurt other people and they go on with their lives. They're not thinking about the fact that they wronged you, because they can't even tap in enough to know what that felt like to you, how that broke you, because they're most likely not a chosen one. So now here you are over here who did absolutely nothing wrong, but then you're carrying that heaviness of hurt, resentment. And listen, we can say all day long that hurt and resentment don't bother us, and that it's all a mask. It's all a mask. That's why if you see that person tomorrow at the gas station, even if they speak to you, it's still that there's a side eye there. When you forgive somebody, you don't even have side eyes anymore. And granted, forgiveness is a process. Don't let anybody make you feel like you have to forgive somebody in their time frame. You don't get to tell me the time frame it will take for me to forgive you for you afflicting me. So yes, it's very, very important to forgive, but you don't go based on another person's, because listen, some people can forgive easily. It just, everybody's different. I'm not one of those people. I'm just gonna keep it real. But I do know the importance of forgiveness, which then allows me to go and make sure I take this thing to God and process it quicker, because I know how it can block our blessings. So because you're holding on to that resentment, and see, let me back out really quickly. Because if I'm honest, it also depends on the level of offense. Because there's different levels of offenses, right? A betrayal is like a whole nother level. There's layers to that thing, right? Versus somebody lied to you about something very minor, minute, right? You lied just because, I don't know, you're supposed to be to work at 5:00. I called you. You lied and said you were there. I look at the camera. Okay, you lied to save your job. That type of thing. But at the same time, when you lie about small things, you'll lie about big things. Versus now, the example of somebody who betrayed you, they slept with your friend, honey, listen, right? Or they cheated, honey, listen, right? Okay, so it's different levels of things, right? Maybe somebody talked behind your back. You trusted somebody with a major secret, right? You trusted them and they went and told somebody else. So there's different levels of offenses. So for me, if it's small and minor, I tend to let those things go easier. If it's something more major, it's a whole process. It's a whole process. It's a whole process, but it must be processed, if that makes sense. So really, if you're not careful, it will backfire on you, because see, God can't release certain blessings when we're holding on to resentment, even though you may deserve certain blessings, right? But if there's resentment in your heart, it's almost like it's a block, right? There is like a block. It's a spiritual block where when blessings start to try to find you, you're repelling them because you're on resentment. Okay, let's say somebody cheated on you. Let's just say, okay, this is a person that you chose on your own accord. So we gotta take more accountability. This is the problem. People don't want to take accountability because we're quick to say that we're healed and we're whole. And many times we truly feel that way. We really feel like, well, I put the work in. And truth of the matter is, a lot of the times for chosen ones, if we want to keep it 100% thorough, we're not fully 100% healed. I think it's because we go from level to level and we know, okay, we're no longer a people pleaser, or we're no longer, or we will cut you off quick now, where before it was hard. Like we go from level to level, but that doesn't mean we've ultimately healed and whole. And many of us are, don't get it twisted. I'm trying to make a point here. But really, if we were healed and we were whole, we would discern these people prior to them even hurting us. We're to tap in, not to discern somebody's spirit. So we missed the mark. Why? Because we wanted what we wanted, or we may have been in a low season. We may have been vibrating low at that time due to major attacks or whatever it is that we were going through, broken hearts or whatever. So if you're honest with yourself, there was something that you discerned about this person prior to you opening up yourself, so much so that they had that level of access to hurt you that deep. See, with me, instantly when I realized, even if I can't tap into exactly what it is about your spirit, there is something that's off. And if I feel like there's something off, regardless of what your mouth say, regardless of what your put together actions say, if I discern that there's even if I can't really tap into it, there's a guard. So you can't have access to me fully, right? Because that stuff takes time. When people get hurt, a lot of people get so broken down to the point of no return almost, is because you allow people access too deeply too soon. So when they wound you at the core when they never even built that trust to begin with. You can't go by what people say. You can't go by what people send you. Meaning like pictures or screenshots. You can't go. You got to go by what your spirit feels. Okay? So we have to take accountability right there. Are we really healed that we're still attracting cheaters? Are we still really healed that we're attracting users? Are we really, really healed if we're attracting narcissists? So that's no knock or diss to us, right? Because we're not the problem. They are. But we have to ask ourselves, how tapped in were we when we allowed these people in and we missed the signs by ignoring our discernment, by ignoring that something's off. So now, if you don't ignore that and you keep a block up, really what it is you kind of already know that something's going on. So it's almost like it prepares you. So when the truth comes out, yeah, it will hurt you, but they can't hurt you to that core, because you already had that guard up to begin with. You don't remove that guard just because. So that's the side of taking accountability. That's one perspective. Okay. The other perspective, of course, is you don't want to block your blessings. Sis, here's the thing. I always tell people, because a lot of people, when they get like hurt or are wounded, they're quick to say things like they regret having a big heart. I regret that I'm a great person. Please don't ever regret that. Why do you think you're so blessed? Compare your life. Even if you're in a down season, you know, for chosen people, down seasons don't last. We might take a fall, but we don't stay down. Where the average person, many times if they take a fall, they're down, like they're down, right? God don't allow, he always brings us back up. And when he brings us up, it's higher than the last time. Why do you think that is? Do you think God is just going to bless you because you're cute? You ain't that cute, boo. We ain't that cute, boo. He blesses us based on our intent. So your intent was always pure. You're not perfect either, right? Let's get that out the way. You're not perfect either. You got your stuff. We're all human beings. We all have our stuff, right? But there's a very, very small chance as a chosen one you will betray somebody. We just can't. Our conscience will eat us alive. We will be thinking about, we'll be thinking ahead of the game. Like, if I do this, this is going to hurt this person. This is going to break this person. So I don't want to break them, even though they may not even know what I'm doing over here, right? I'm thinking ahead, like if she finds out, if he finds out, how it's going to damage them. Child, they're not thinking on that level about us. You see how different we are? But why are we so blessed? Why are we so blessed? So many times we have to keep looking at the fact, how I live my life personally. Listen, our blessings come back from God, not people. Right? Our blessings come back from God, not people. So whoever hurt you, right? When you were in their lives, you move with a pure intent. Your intent was pure. Even if you missed a mark, God knew your intent was pure. He blesses our intent. And then we learn, the betrayal teaches us and build us on how to use our discernment and how to protect our hearts. So don't block your blessings, because now they won double. They betrayed you, right? You're hurt, and you're going to block your blessings. So really, who won? They moved on to hurt more people. So really, who won? So again, it's true. Forgiveness is really just a word. You can walk right here all day long talking about, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. Honey, listen, forgiveness is just a word until that thing is truly processed. There was somebody I had to forgive, and it took me probably 6 years of a process. Right? Because at one point I think, okay, I forgive. Then when I see them, honey, it's that, that thing that rises up. You know good and well that thing that rises up in you, honey. You had a play with let's say your child have a play at school or whatever, and the other parent walk in, like you think you've forgiven this person, and Lord, I've released him to you. Honey, when that man walk in that door, there's something in you that just rises up. It's inside. Then he want to come stand next to you, honey, and here you moving to the side because he bet not come by you. How is that forgiveness? How is that forgiveness? So then then we get convicted. See, you're not fully forgiven, because why are you feeling this way? If you forgive, once you complete your process of forgiveness, there is no residue left. Meaning I can see you, I can smile, and I can truly say, God bless you. And I mean, there is no residue whatsoever. But honey, that is not easy for a lot of people. People can make it seem that way. Religion can make it seem that way. Forgiveness is not easy when it comes down to certain levels of betrayals. But again, that's why it's important for us to guard our hearts with wisdom and discernment, so we don't have to keep going through that stuff over and over. As a chosen one, people should not be able to just enter your life, right? You can invite them in, but you need to be... Sorry, guys. My dog is crazy. Give it to me. There you go. sit down. That's a whole zoo, honey. People, you can invite people into your life, but you have to be guarded. People have to prove themselves, and that takes time. They have to prove themselves before you remove that guard. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they do. Period. You got to protect your heart. Lastly, I don't care who says what. I don't even care if religion says it. I'm just speaking religion here. Religion says it. Forgiveness does not equate to reconciliation. Point blank, period. You can go through a whole process to forgive someone, and it doesn't mean that person belongs back in your life. I don't know who comes up with these concepts. Now, there's levels to this thing. If you went through a process to forgive this person, right, because God forgave you or somebody had to forgive you as well, right, at some point in your life, and this person's behavior is exactly the same. They're still moving the same way, right? You would have to be a jackrabbit to allow somebody back in your life who is moving the same way. There is absolutely no change in this person's behavior. You've forgiven them, but you're supposed to allow them back in? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Ain't happening. I will forgive you and I will see you when Jesus comes home. If you make it there. If I make it there. I'm claiming that I'm going to make it there. But you will not have access to me again. First of all, you shouldn't have even been here to begin with. So if you couldn't even recognize what you had from the jump, that's your fault. So I'm going to be a fool. Is fool or somebody told me fool, we're not supposed to say fool was in the Bible or something like that. Somebody hit me up in the comment section. Give me the Bible scripture that we're not supposed to say fool. Because I'm sure it's one in there. I just don't know what it is. I'm going to be this jackrabbit to let you back in, and you're still moving the same way. You put no work into change. Make it make sense. Especially a narcissist. Make it make sense because they don't even change. So they act cute for a minute, and the minute you allow them back in, that whole healing process you went through, you're going to have to go through it again because they're going to enter your life and turn your life right upside down again. And they got these flying monkeys calling you, oh, it's so important to forgive. You're absolutely right, but I'm going to forgive and you're going to stay on the other side. Point blank, period. Don't call me with that flying monkey foolishness because I'm going to block the flying monkey. I don't know why flying monkey always tickle me. Also, lastly, when it comes to boundaries, when it comes to respect, as a chosen person, as an evolved person, you have to demand respect. Period. You don't shift and move boundaries based on other people. You got to teach people and you got to make people respect you. One thing that I don't like what people tend to do a lot of the times is people will do something crazy, right? Whatever the crazy is. They know they're wrong. And then they want to hit you up, meaning if they still have access to you. This is not somebody like you cut off per se, but they still have access to you. And then they hit you up like nothing ever happened. So you afflicted me. And now the next day is, hey, how are you? So we just going to skip over, right? We're going to just skip over the whole whatever it was. Demand your respect. You have zero access to me if you've afflicted me and you can't move your pride aside to apologize. Chosen ones, as a healed empath, you have to know what you carry. You're not average. You're not average. Stop letting people play with you all kind of way. right? And it's a process, right? Because an unhealed empath, honey, is a disaster. An unhealed empath, which many people are prior to transformation, is a disaster. People hurt you all the time. You have no boundaries. You're a people pleaser. People are using you, abusing you. People are disrespecting you. Honey, an unhealed empath is a disaster. Invest in yourself, invest in your healing. You will attract a different group of individuals, for one. The others will just naturally fall off because people don't like whole healed people to begin with, right? 'Cause they can't play with you all kind of way, right? So they will naturally fall off, and that's absolutely okay because you need your soul tribe to find you. You're no longer vibing at lower frequencies. You've leveled up. And lower frequencies, please don't, because I know everybody have like different perspectives and mindsets on things. When I say it, it just means you're unhealed. You're toxic. Lower frequencies. Nobody got time for the foolishness, right? If you're not vibing at a higher frequency, meaning we're tapped in, child, go play with somebody else, because I ain't got time. I ain't got time. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy.